everyone, and welcome to this flow class where we are going to be working our body through a series of poses called asanas that create a sequence called Surya Namaskar A. And we're going to do the warm-up for Surya Namaskar A, and that's Sanskrit for sun salutations A. So the idea is that these poses, the sequence was created so that you could do it in the morning when the sun was coming up. So to give us energy and to greet the sun, to greet the earth and all of our surroundings. So we'll start off nice and slow so that you can learn all the poses and feel comfortable doing them in your body. We'll start standing and we are going to warm up with that power breath that we've been working on. So let's start with your feet planted underneath you in that mountain pose so that you're feeling really strong. So already start to feel your feet on the floor and feel yourself standing with this really good posture. We spend so much of our time maybe slouching or sitting, maybe you're on your phones or any sort of technology. So we want to reverse that by opening everything up and standing nice and tall. Close your eyes and even allow yourself to feel your body wave and sway a little bit. Now to give ourselves that energy, we'll do 3 of our power breaths. And we'll release our exhale with that strong ha all the way to the floor. So with our next breath in through our nose, let's inhale, reach our arms up, take your eyes up, and exhale, ha, bend the knees. Ha! One more time. Ha! And then just standing tall, release your hands down. Sometimes you might even feel a little bit lightheaded. If it gets too strong, take the heel of your hand in between your eyebrows and just press and hold it here until you're feeling, not feeling dizzy anymore. Releasing your hands at your side, standing at the top of your mat. Let's lift all 10 toes and spread them as wide as you can so you can really feel your feet grounding down on the earth below. As you breathe in and inhale, reach your arms up as tall as you can. This is called Uttita Hastasana, or extended mountain pose, reaching like you're saying hello to the sun. As we exhale, shift your pelvis backwards and come through a flat back. Pull your low belly in, bending your knees as much as you need until you fold yourself in half. Now this can be really strong sometimes in the back of your body, maybe your hamstrings or your low back. So the more you bend your knees, the better it'll feel. And you can rest your hands on your shins if you can't reach the floor. Just try not to keep yourself up like this if you're feeling really tight anywhere in the back body. Bend your knees. Let the head relax down. This is called Uttanasana, or forward fold. Take a moment when you're here. You can even bend one knee and straighten the other and shake side to side. We want to really allow our upper body to release. Now we'll bring ourselves into Ardha Uttanasana, or half forward fold, by drawing your hands towards your shins and bringing your back into a flat back position. Again, you can keep your knees bent if that makes it easier for you to keep your spine long. Legs can be straight if your hamstrings, the backs of your legs feel okay. And then let's breathe out and take our hands back down towards the floor and take our feet back so that we come into a tabletop pose. Now when we come into our tabletop pose, I want you to think about your hands. Spread them really, really wide. And the index finger should point to the front of your mat. So you're making like this L shape facing the front of your mat. Then we want our shoulders to be stacked over our elbows and stacked over our wrists. This will help us feel really strong, almost like we're Lego blocks stacking on top of each other to hold our body and our posture strong here. Same with our back of our body. Our hips should be over top of our knees, and there should be a space in between your knees about 2 fists width apart. Tops of the feet pressing down into the floor. And then creating a long spine again here. So imagine if I was to put a glass of water on your back. Could you balance it there without it falling off and spilling? That's how strong we should be in our tabletop. So press your hands into the floor to keep your spine nice and strong. And then think about sucking your low belly in, your belly button towards your spine. Now, some of my favorite poses are our cat-cow poses. So as we inhale, we're going to drop our belly towards the floor, lift your booty up towards the back, and take your gaze forward. This is your cow pose. So you can imagine the shape of a cow's belly as it droops down towards the floor. As you exhale, pull that belly in. So suck it in nice and strong, tuck your chin in and press your back up. Now we're coming into our cat pose. So just like that Halloween cat or that scary cat position. Close your eyes and let's flow through this a few times. Inhaling through cow and exhaling through cat. Inhale through cow and exhale through cat. This is a really beautiful sequence of poses to warm your spine up. After you've been sitting for a long time or when you're just feeling like you've been too stationary. Good job. The next time you come into your cat pose, let's come into that neutral spine again. Strong arms and hands. Maybe they might be feeling tired. Bring your toes together and start to shift your hips back over your heels. Now we're going to take ourselves into child's pose. There's really no wrong way to do it. Your knees can be wide apart or they can be close together so you can separate them. Reach your arms out in front of you and try to create a nice long spine. Take your forehead down towards the floor. I want you to work on your arm strength here. So press your hands into the floor and allow your forearms to have space between the mat. So don't bend your elbows and place them down. Keep them elevated. Allow your shoulders to feel strong. And then you might feel some nice stretching in your hips and low back. You should feel comfortable here. Think about your breath and feel your inhalations. Your belly expands and press against your thighs. As you exhale, you draw your belly away. One more time. On your next round of breath, we'll take our gaze forward. Tuck your toes underneath you now. Maybe walk your knees back in. Keep your arms reaching out in front of you. And then lift your hips up and back. We're taking ourselves into this upward or upside down facing V. Downward facing dog is what this position is called. You've probably seen it before. Now, the space in our downward facing dog should be as long as we are in a plank pose. So just shift yourself forward for a moment into plank pose. Make sure you're not sinking your hips down. Make sure your shoulders stack over your wrists and your heels over your toes. Then don't move your hands or feet. Lift your hips up and back. Now, if you need to bend your knees, that's fine. You can bend your knees so that you can get your back, your spine nice and long and drop your head so that you're looking at your knees. Now, if your legs feel okay, your hamstrings feel okay, that's the backs of your thighs, you can start to straighten your legs out and then let your heels come down towards the floor. But heels on the floor isn't the most important thing. The most important thing is that long spine, reaching and stretching. So find the position that works best for you and see if we can hold it here for about 5 breaths. Close your eyes if you feel comfortable. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. In and out 2 more times. And then from here, rise onto your toes. Take your gaze forward, bend your knees, and then walk your feet up towards your hands. Eventually coming into that flat back position, reaching the crown of your head away from your hips. And then folding down into that Uttanasana. Remember that word, Uttanasana. As we inhale, strong feet, strong legs. You can bend them if you need to. Reach your arms out towards the side. Pull your belly in and come up with a flat back until you're standing nice and tall. And then exhale, bring your hands down towards your heart center. Amazing. That is one Surya Namaskar A warm up. Let's try it one more time, a little bit faster. Let's inhale, reach our arms up. Exhale, fold yourself all all the way down. Try to move your body with your breath. Inhale, flat back, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, plant your hands on the floor, step back, tabletop. Inhale, drop the belly down into your cow pose. Exhale, pull the belly in into your cat pose. Inhale, let's come back to our tabletop. We're going to go right into our downward facing dog. Exhale, lift your bum up, shift yourself back, and lengthen out that downward facing dog. Find the position that feels best for you. Remember, bending the knees is totally fine. Lengthen the spine out. And then on a next inhale, take your gaze forward, rise on your toes, bend your knees, and then walk your feet towards your hands. Inhale through that flat back. Exhale, fold down maybe a little bit deeper. It feels a little bit better. Then inhale, strong legs and feet come all the way to stand. Exhale your hands to your heart center. That was amazing. Let's bow our chin towards our chest. Taking a moment to close your eyes. Notice the effects from moving our body. Maybe you felt like you could let go of tension as you connected with your breath. Thank you so much for joining me today. To say thank you, we say namaste. Thank you for joining me.